Hey everybody, Greg Barley from WealthVine here, and today I want to talk about Raging Bull and specifically the FTC lawsuit that was filed against Raging Bull on December 7th, 2020. So let's get through our intro and get into the details. Here's where I ask you to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell so you get notified of future videos. Alright, so let's talk about Raging Bull. I'm going to pull up their website here. If you're for some reason not familiar with Raging Bull, they're a large trading service. They have a lot of different programs and newsletters and things like that that you can subscribe to. As many of you know, I subscribe to a number of Raging Bull's products and services, and I've been overall pretty happy with what I've received. There's one program in particular, Kyle Dennis's Fast 5 Trades, that I've done very well with and I've been very happy with. So I make no qualms about that. I've used their services. I've been, in general, happy with what they provided. With a couple of little caveats, you may have noticed in the past that there's one of their services that I absolutely don't recommend, and I'm actually going to talk about that. It's actually included in the lawsuit that the FTC filed. So we're going to go, and I'm going to show you just a couple of things about the lawsuit, and I'm going to pull up the actual lawsuit and actually go through a few points for within the suit and give you my thoughts about what I see there and where I see this going. Now, first of all, I just want to say that I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a legal expert. This is just my thoughts and opinions on this because I've used Raging Bull products in the past and continue to actually. And so I just wanted to jump in here because I know a lot of you people watching this on my videos subscribe to Raging Bull. Some of you because of my recommendations or reviews in the past. So I feel obligated to go through this. So let's, if we're on the Raging Bull website here, I'm just going to click on expert. So first of all, the FTC lawsuit is against Raging Bull itself and then against 3 of their instructors. Specifically, it's against Jeff Bishop, Jason Bond, and Kyle Dennis. I know Jason Bond, I think, is the one who started Raging Bull. The company itself is only about 6 years old, so it's not very old. And then I'm going to shrink this down here. So this is the actual 35-page complaint that the FTC filed on December 7th. I've read this a couple of times. Not expecting any of you to want to go through this, but I do want to pull up a couple specific points. I'm moving my notes over here. So let me jump to page 12, and we're just going to go through. I've got 5 different parts of the lawsuit that I want to kind of look at and discuss a little bit. So let's go ahead and do that. And I've already outlined some of these. So on page 12 here, it talks about how this is the one. So Raging Bull touts its trading strategies as simple and easy to use. For example, the Bullseye Trade service describes it as the simplest, most consistent strategy on Wall Street. Hands-on Bullseye trades can work for everyone. Now, many of you already know that I use Bullseye Trades. I've subscribed to it for a while, and I do not recommend it. I have not recommended it for beginners, especially because I do not think it is the easiest. So I completely agree with this statement here where they're contesting that it's described as the simplest strategy to use. It absolutely is not. I completely agree with that. Bullseye Trades is more advanced, and I thought that should have been said up front a little bit more than it was when I purchased the service myself. That being said, I've had some success with the Bullseye Trades. I don't think I've done as well as I would have liked, but so again, I completely agree with this, where sometimes they promote some of their services saying that, and it's hype, it's marketing hype, it's a little bit of fluff where it's, hey, this is the easiest thing ever, and sometimes it's not. And I have more thoughts on that, but let's go through a couple other points in the lawsuit here. So I'm going to go down to this page, I think is the next one. So this one caught me off guard. I didn't realize that this was going on, and if this is true, then they absolutely should be held accountable for this. It talks about Jason Bond specifically, where they advertise that, we've been all over the media, including Times Square, and there's like pictures of him in Times Square, but what they don't tell you is that they purchased that advertising space basically so they could get this promotional exposure. The other thing that I guess he did that I wasn't aware of is that other analysts have claimed that Bond was invited to speak at Harvard Business School. And if you read through this, the FTC says that Harvard has never had him on campus. He's never spoken for the school. This was a paid promotional thing that Bond set up near campus, supposedly. And they just put the Harvard Business School logo behind him. That's absolutely fraudulent. They should be held accountable for doing things like that. That's just, you shouldn't do that. I think that's pretty simple. We all agree on that. So here's one where I kind of agree and disagree. It talks about kind of how they go about promoting programs and their services, whether it's stock trading or options trading. And here in point 59, it says defendants do not, in fact, provide effective strategies that consumers can reasonably use to make market-beating profits, nor can consumers make market-beating returns by using defendants' trade alerts. That's not entirely true, because I've done pretty well with Fast 5 trades and even Jason Bond's Rooster report that he has that I subscribe to. I've had market-beating returns in a number of trades. Does it happen on every trade? No. I don't think that's to be expected of any program out there. So I'm kind of wondering where the FTC is going with this. If they expect, every trade to be market-beating, if that's not really reasonable. So I don't necessarily agree with this statement here. What I don't know is if they're really digging behind the scenes and saying, well, it's how they're promoting their services, saying that every trade's market beating. And I don't know if Raging Bull's necessarily done that. They have to some extent in some areas, and I think they need to tone that down. So again, that's not for me to decide. I'm not the legal expert. I don't know all the details. All I've read is this 35-page complaint, and obviously if it goes to court, there's going to be a lot more information that comes out. So in point 60 here, this one I agree with. Consumers do not typically make returns like those advertised. That should be in their disclaimers. I mean, if that happens all the time. I mean, every single product out there, whether it's financial or you look at even medicines or pharmaceuticals that are promoted on TV that say, hey, this doesn't work for everybody. It doesn't work to the same level for everybody. I mean, anything we buy that we're seeking to gain something from, whether it's health, wealth, not everybody's going to have the same result. And that's to be expected in my mind. Maybe Raging Bull doesn't do a good enough job telling people that, and that's what the FTC is after. I don't really know. So let's jump down to another one here. This one I think is kind of funny, but it's also like, what is the disclaimer we need to provide? Again, I'm not defending everything Raging Bull's doing, because I certainly think there's a lot of things in this complaint that are legitimate, and there's some things that I was like, whoa, I didn't know that was going on, that they need to be held accountable for. I just want to look at a few points and kind of discuss them briefly, and I'm curious if you guys comment below your thoughts on some of the things that you see going on, or your thoughts about how Raging Bull's promoted things, or if you're in their programs, what you think about them. I really want you guys to comment below. Let's get a discussion going around this. So here I've got highlighted in a complete about face the disclaimers. So they've got all these programs and stuff that they promote, and they tell you, hey, we've got these awesome recommendations. And then the FTC is complaining that complaint states that their disclaimers at the end say that consumers should never invest in the securities of any of the companies mentioned based solely on information contained on our website. Unless it's a financial advisor, which they are not, I think that should be understood, that you have to do your own research and that there should be some risk involved. I don't know how you get around that and not provide this type of information. So I'm curious to see kind of what's behind this, or what specifically the FTC is going after. This one I agree with completely. Defendants sometimes but not always include disclaimers at the beginning of their promotional videos. Such disclaimers appear only for a brief period of time in a large block of text while the instructor speaks to the viewer. Raging Bull and some other programs as well don't do a good enough job with placing their disclaimers front and center. There have to be links to them throughout the video or on the page somewhere. That's something that the FTC requires. That's a pretty simple requirement that they need to meet, and they haven't done that, and I completely agree with that. So here's a big one. This is the last one I want to talk about, which is my biggest personal complaint with Raging Bull and the difference between them and some of the other programs that I utilize is the amount of training. So here the FTC makes a specific complaint that the training materials which consumers are given after signing up consist of videos. Many of the videos are just recordings of past webinars or live chat sessions, and I found that to be very true, where they say they provide all this training and it's just a recording of a call they did 3 years ago or something like that. Raging Bull doesn't always do a very good job training people how to get into and out of trades, the specific strategies they're using and why, and how you can learn how to do that. I just as a counterpoint, and some people don't like some of Money Map's press programs like Fast Fortune Club or Project 303. I tend to like them because they do provide more training. They provide more information. They have live calls. They have monthly recaps where they discuss, strategies and how they got or why they were looking at specific trades and things like that. So I think, as a counterpoint, that's a company that does maybe not a perfect job, but they do a lot better job than what Raging Bull does. I certainly think that Raging Bull is going to get hit hard over this, where they need to provide more training to back up the income claims and the things that they promote. So again, these are just a few things in this complaint, in this lawsuit, that I wanted to cover. Just going to kind of show you guys. I'm not defending Raging Bull by any means. I usually, when the FTC sues a company like this, they're not necessarily trying to put them out of business. And if you go to the bottom of this complaint here, it actually goes through some of the things that the FTC is looking for. They are looking for financial remuneration. They are looking for Raging Bull to make certain customers whole because certain customers felt like they've been cheated. But there are also some some of that's kind of hard to land. It'll be up to the judge, and if this goes to trial or a court, or I don't know what's going to happen here. A lot of times with the FTC, when they bring a complaint like this, they really just want the company to fix their practices. Again, I disagreed with the earlier statement in this complaint that people aren't getting value. They aren't getting market-beating returns. Again, you're not going to get market-beating returns on every trade that you get, but I've certainly done well with some of their programs, and I think Raging Bull hopefully is going to be able to, I'm not defending them, will be able to prove that to a little bit. But on the flip side, they need to stop some of their outrageous marketing practices. If Jason Bond's saying he spoke at Harvard and he never did, then that's absolutely, they need to be held accountable for things like that. They need to improve their training. They need to improve their disclaimers. So I think there are some changes coming. I don't know if Raging Bull is going to get blown out of the water with this suit or not. Time will tell. What I have done personally is, if you go to the WealthVine website, you will no longer see my reviews of any Raging Bull products. I've removed those from my website until this is resolved. It's kind of funny because just this morning I received an email from Raging Bull saying, hey, we're hoping to get back to advertising soon. You've promoted some of our products in the past. We know you use them, blah, blah, blah. Hoping to keep you on board. We disagree with everything in the lawsuit, and that's all fine and dandy. That's what you expect them to say. But personally, I removed everything related to Raging Bull from the WealthVine website until this is resolved, and I'm confident that this company is on the up and up and they're doing things the right way. So some of you have already messaged me saying, hey, I thought, what happened to Raging Bull? I thought you used some of their programs. And again, I'm still continuing to use their programs. They're still issuing their trade alerts and things like that. But I'm not going to promote anything that they have currently, and I'm not going to have any of their information on my website until this is resolved. However long that takes, I imagine it won't be a short period of time. It's going to be throughout this year, and who knows, maybe even longer. So again, comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this, and if you have used Raging Bull's products in the past and what your experiences have been. I'm curious to see what everybody thinks out there. And if we have an update to this, I kind of keep tabs on it. I don't know how long this is going to take to play out. Obviously, they just filed the complaint a week ago, so it's going to be quite a while before this plays out in court. But I'm curious to see what the FTC does and what they're able to get Raging Bull to do, or if they just close up shop, which is, if they can't remedy the things that they're doing wrong, then that's perfectly okay with me. They shouldn't be in business. So hope you guys have a great day. We'll talk to you later. Bye. Thanks for watching. We really enjoy producing these type of videos for you. If you enjoy this type of content, just hit the like button for us and leave a comment below. We try to get back to you as quickly as we can and interact with everybody in our YouTube channel. And also, if you want to see future videos from us, hit subscribe, that big red subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the little bell which notifies you in your browser when we upload a new video. And as always, visit WealthVine.com, and you can also send us a message through the website or on Facebook Messenger, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Thanks a lot. Bye.